How is it brewing today? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be talking about and showing you my stock market portfolio. This is one of my stock market accounts. This is one of my smaller accounts, but I'm going to be going through all my positions and telling you guys why I'm personally invested. And basically, I got a few comments asking me to see my personal portfolio. So I'm going to be showing you that to you today. Now, also I'm going to be basically talking and explaining why I'm personally invested into these positions, and basically just giving you some tips here and there. So right before I jump into it, I'm using Robinhood right now, right? Now, this is one of my smaller portfolios. It's not my biggest account. I have two other accounts. And I probably will show you guys those accounts in the future. But yeah, and if you guys currently want to sign up for Webull, if you haven't already, I'll use the link in the description. You'll get 2 free stocks just by opening up a brokerage account and funding it. And those stocks can be worth up to $250. And once you fund your account, you can get up to $1,400 of a free stock. So a lot of people who sign up for Webull really like it. It's basically like Robinhood, but in my opinion, even a bit better. So if you haven't done that, make sure to do so. So I'll just get right into it. My account is right here. This is a pretty small account of mine. Like, this is kind of an account that I go on to just buy stocks and actually use it on my phone. But for the sake of recording the video, I'm on desktop. So a lot of these positions are actually just smaller versions of the exact same positions I have on a bigger account. So that's why I don't have too many shares of like Tesla, for example. I have a lot more shares in another account. But yeah. So first position I have is Tesla. I have 2 shares on this account right now, which actually, I think when I first made this Robinhood, I'm actually up quite a bit, 12%. When I did make this account, I think I paid like what, 400? Where's the cost basis on here? I think my cost basis was about 700. So yeah, I'm up a bit on Tesla, but I actually bought in a lot at around the 300 mark. So I believe long term that Tesla will be good. If I do my more shares on Tesla, it'll be on another account. I personally don't like putting too much money on Robinhood just because of them not being too reliable quite recently, if you guys know that whole situation. But yeah, dude, Tesla just been crazy explosive. A lot of people in my comments were telling me that it easily will pass 1,000 in battery day when they actually explain the battery technologies that they're making. So yeah, that is Tesla. My next stock, I actually sold a bit off recently on this personal account. And that's Tencent. Like, I don't have that many shares left, but I did have quite a bit more that I actually sold. And Tencent, if you guys didn't know, especially now, they're benefiting a lot because the whole coronavirus. They're basically one of the biggest companies in entertainment. They have games. They own a lot of mobile games. Even if you go to the movies, like let's say you go watch some Marvel movies, maybe you're watching Infinity War, like you can literally see the logo Tencent in the beginning of those movies. Like, they have a lot of stake in a lot of industries, a lot of entertainment. They own a part of Fortnite, the video game. They own a chunk of that. So that's, I think that's why like the stock really exploded right around the 2018 mark because of that game. They own a portion of that, and just in general, they own a lot. They have a $500 billion market cap. They're an insane huge company, and that just like they own a ton of stuff at the end of the day. They do give off a good amount of dividends. Like, I don't even have that much equity and I'm getting like $1 dividend, which is not bad. If I had more, that would be probably pretty decent. Only 0.25, but they definitely will be expanding. I think this might not be quite accurate in terms of the dividends, but in terms of Tencent, I do definitely like it. I'm up 16%, which is alright. It's just not bad. If you guys, I personally, this isn't too much of a reward stock. There's not much risk to reward in this stock because it's already such a big company, but it's a decent stock to have just to kind of, I don't know, type of stock to just diversify your portfolio, if you know what I mean. Next stock, Apple. You guys know that's pretty self-explanatory. I don't really want to get into that too much. I only have 1 share. I think I had like a few shares of Apple. I just sold it off because the stock is just crazy. Look at this. Apple is insane, guys. Look at that. It's almost at all-time high. So that's just pretty self-explanatory there. Uber stock, I do believe Uber Am I up on this? I'm barely up, but once again, my cost basis isn't really accurate here because I have a lot of shares on another account. Um, but if you just look at it, it's actually been it's bounced back a good amount since since it's actually its bottom due to the pandemic. Even though Uber is pretty much not really in business, they're doing pretty decent right now in terms of their stock price. Next up, CCL. That's Carnival Cruise Line. This is a big loser for me. This is a big loser. I personally did research on the stock quite a bit because I bought it at around, it went up to 60, right? I was looking at the stock a lot. I was like, okay, it's $60, right? But the thing is, I'm gonna be holding the stock for a few years. I'm not in a rush to sell it. Um, Unfortunately, I do have a lot more shares on another account. Not a crazy amount, but I do have some. So that is that. My cost basis is about $30 and it's about 15. So I'm just gonna be waiting on that. It's at the end of the day, it's the number one cruise ship company, and most likely it's gonna return back to normal. I'm not in a rush to sell that stock. Last but not least, P Fizzer. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I don't have much of this stock at all. I wanted to actually buy bits of this stock, just like buy a few shares, nibble off a few shares, just because they're a great dividends holder. They pay 4% dividends and they're a decent company. Like, it's a good diversification of your portfolio as well. I don't have much of this at all, so I don't want to take too much time explaining this, but they actually bounce back quite a bit due to even though they're in a pandemic right now, we're in a pandemic, they actually bounce back a good amount, just because I believe they're kind of in the pharmaceutical space, vaccine stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that is pretty much it. You guys can see I don't have much of these like bottom stocks. I believe it's sorted from most to least, but that is pretty much one of my portfolio accounts. I don't know if I will be adding more stocks or more money to this Robinhood account. I might buy some more just to go into dividends because I really like how you can reinvest dividends very nicely with Robinhood. That's one thing. Like, it's very clean. Like, if you guys see my Apple, I believe I have like 1.0 something of Apple stock. So like the dividends reinvestment is pretty cool on Robinhood. That's probably the only reason I still have this account. And I also have the cash management debit card on this account, which is why I'm not like literally just moving all my money out. I'm just gonna keep some of my money here. All these stocks are long-term plays for the most part, especially the Tesla, Tencent, Apple, Uber. Pretty much most of these stocks are long-term plays, so basically I'm just going to be holding the money for the long term. These are my watch list stocks. I made videos on stocks that I'm personally watching, so you guys can like look at all these here stocks I'm personally watching. I'm not going to get too in depth into these, but that is that. So yeah guys, thank you for watching. That has been the video. Once again, if you guys can subscribe to this channel, that would be really appreciated. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, so any help at all would be very appreciated. And if you guys want to sign up for Webull, the link will be down below. It's free money, guys. Just make sure to go get your 2 free stocks. A lot of my viewers have done this already, which is pretty cool. And I'll see you on my next video.